Now that the once ruling Jubilee Party is a pale shadow of its former self is not in question, but attempts to position it as a formidable force ahead of the 2027 polls is gaining momentum. We speak to Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni on the loud silence of former President Uhuru Kenyatta and the marshalling of a Matiang'i candidature. Remember, you can be part of this discussion. Send us a message on 22047. The hashtag to use is TV47 News. Jeremiah Kioni is with us in studio. Thank you very much for making time for us tonight on TV47.
Asante sana. Thank you for inviting me once again.
Fair enough. On June 12th, the court ruled in what many interpreted as Jubilee being handed back to its rightful owners. How relieved is the leadership, you included, of the ruling Jubilee, of the then ruling Jubilee Party to have its leaders back?
Perhaps even before that, you have said that Jubilee is a pale shadow of its former self. I think it's important to just mention for purposes of having it on record, that Jubilee led this country for a good 10 years. Jubilee TNA. The record of what we did under the leadership of Uhuru Kenyatta is there for everybody to see. We didn't have a candidate at the Jubilee Party 2022. We had a candidate at Azimio, which as Jubilee we agreed to back. So we didn't lose. Our candidate of Azimio lost.
You disagree with the description of Jubilee as...
It's completely, because we then decided to allow those who took over power to demonstrate what they can do, and they have been doing it for the last 1,000 days. Again, it is not for us to judge, but every other Kenyan can tell whether when Jubilee was in power, we were better off then than now. And I believe that majority will say that we were better off then. So it's not accurate to say that we are a pale shadow. The thing is that we've not been in power for the last 2 years. It was only necessary and important to allow those who are in power to demonstrate that they could do it better than us. They have failed to do so, and that is why we have the whole country up in arms against those in power and saying, including the one term, it's time for people to go.
Mheshimiwa, just on the question,
before their time is over.
Just on the question of which you disagree, whether Jubilee is a pale shadow of itself or not. Jubilee had 140 MPs in 2017. It had 24 senators, 25 women rep, 25 governors. It has 32 members of parliament, 4 senators, 27 MPs and 4 senators and 1 governor. You don't view the drop in those numbers as painting a picture of a pale shadowed
For
party?
the reason that 2022, fine, there are many of us who are running on Jubilee ticket, but we didn't put into effort the necessary effort that you need to put when you want your own members of parliament to ensure that they retain their seats. That we must admit. The second thing is that we concentrated more on supporting our presidential candidate at Azimio, not at Jubilee, at Azimio, in the name of Raila Amolo Odinga, and we paid less attention to those who are vying for the other elective seats. And number 3 is that there was a misconception that when you have a coalition candidate, those in the party will perform just as they did when they were running their own candidate. Let me put it more clearly. Having a candidate at a coalition umbrella like Azimio is not the same as having a candidate at a party like Jubilee. When we had our own candidate 2013 and 2017, in the name of Uhuru Kenyatta, we performed very well. So it is in the culture and in the keeping of this country that when you have a presidential candidate in your own party, your party performs well. That is why UDA did well because they had William Ruto. And the ODM, even if Raila was running at Azimio, when he went back to his stronghold areas, he was more of an ODM candidate than an Azimio.
Fair enough, you have put a
No, I am not even a defense. I'm trying to tell you, going forward, what will define how we do things. So when we say that we have a presidential candidate in the name of Matiang'i, That is what is making very many people uncomfortable.
We will come to that.
Because the ground that they thought we lost,
we still have time. We will come to that.
where they thought we were a pale shadow, we would demonstrate to them that we are still the giant.
We will come to that. How relieved is the leadership of the party?